June 17, 1933. A humid morning settles over a busy train terminal in Kansas City, Missouri. Federal agents and local officers stand outside the station, escorting a captured fugitive, a seasoned bank robber with a long criminal record. He has just arrived by train and is being transferred to a vehicle that will take him back to prison. The clock ticks toward mid-morning. Suddenly, armed men appear in the parking lot. Without warning, gunfire explodes across the pavement. Shotguns roar, bullets rip through cars and concrete. In seconds, chaos replaces routine procedure. When the smoke clears, 4 law enforcement officers lie dead. The prisoner they were guarding is dead too. Several others are wounded. The attackers flee. The brazen daylight ambush shocks the nation. It happens in front of one of the city's busiest rail hubs, a place meant for travel, not warfare. Investigators later connect the attack to notorious gangsters of the Great Depression era, though controversy lingers over who fired the fatal shots. The aftermath changes everything. Federal agents are granted authority to carry firearms. Their power to pursue criminals across state lines expands. What happened that morning reshapes American law enforcement forever. He was born on June 1, 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. Adopted as an infant and raised in the Bronx, he grew up feeling isolated, rejected, and emotionally disconnected. Those early fractures slowly hardened into resentment. Between July 29, 1976 and July 31, 1977, New York City was gripped by fear. A .44 caliber revolver, nighttime attacks, young couples sitting in parked cars, 6 lives lost, 7 wounded. He wrote letters to police and journalists, theatrical, taunting, erratic. He blamed a neighbor's dog, claiming it commanded him to kill. The language revealed paranoia, grandiosity, and a craving for attention. The violence wasn't only physical, it was psychological theater. Police struggled at first. The attacks crossed borough lines, and communication between precincts wasn't seamless. Witness descriptions conflicted. A composite sketch was dismissed early. During the 1977 blackout, investigative momentum slowed amid citywide chaos. The breakthrough wasn't dramatic profiling. It was routine. A parking ticket, issued near one of the crime scenes in Yonkers. Officers canvassed the area, traced the vehicle, and found ammunition and maps inside a parked car. On August 10, 1977, they arrested him outside his apartment building. He was 24 years old. In the end, he wasn't caught by legend. He was caught by paperwork.
This piece of paper created the next catastrophe. After 4 years of war, the world wanted peace. But peace didn't mean mercy. In 1919, the defeated nation was forced into a room. No negotiations. No debate. Just a document and a pen. They lost land. Their military was stripped. Their economy crushed. And the blame for millions of deaths was placed entirely on them. The paper was signed. But outside, something dangerous was growing. Anger. Humiliation. Desperation. Money became worthless. Families starved. Trust in democracy collapsed. And people began searching for someone to blame. That's when a loud voice promised revenge. He didn't offer peace. He offered pride. This document was supposed to end war. Instead, it prepared the world for something far worse.
He rose from obscurity to command the greatest army the world had ever seen. A soldier who crowned himself ruler. A man who bent Europe to his will. Kings feared him. Borders moved because he said so. For years, defeat didn't exist in his vocabulary. At the peak of his power, he made one decision that changed everything. He marched east with hundreds of thousands of soldiers, convinced speed and brilliance would secure victory. But his enemy refused to fight. Cities were abandoned. Fields were burned. Nothing was left behind. Then the cold came. Winter turned ambition into disaster. Men froze where they stood. Horses collapsed. Supply lines disappeared into snow. The retreat became a massacre. An army that entered as legends returned as ghosts. That single mistake shattered an empire, invited his enemies back, and sent a once untouchable ruler into exile. History remembers him as a genius and as a warning. Even the greatest conquerors can be defeated by their own confidence. In the early 1970s, in a Midwestern American city, young men between 15 and their early 20s began disappearing. Most came from working-class families. Reports were filed, but many were quietly dismissed. It was the era, 1972 to 1978, and missing teenage boys were often labeled runaways. That assumption cost years. The man responsible was in his mid-30s, outwardly stable, employed, and active in local civic life. That image created a blind spot. Early police interviews raised concerns, but no sustained follow-up happened. He appeared cooperative, confident, and familiar with authority, traits that disarmed suspicion. The break came in 1978, when a 15-year-old survived an encounter and reported the exact method used against him. This time, police listened. Surveillance began. A search warrant followed. Evidence accumulated. Personal belongings, inconsistencies, and finally physical proof hidden beneath his own home. Psychologically, the pattern was clear. Control, entitlement, and predation on those least likely to be believed. He relied on social status and systemic bias, convinced it made him invisible. He wasn't stopped by clever profiling. He was stopped when disbelief finally ended. It was just after 3:00 a.m., July 3, 1963. A Glasgow-London Royal Mail train was speeding through Buckinghamshire, England. On board, 128 sealed mail bags, most of them packed with small, used banknotes untraceable. Value, about £2.6 million at the time, nearly $6 million. A tampered signal light suddenly flipped from green to red near a rural bridge at Ledburn. The driver, a 58-year-old man, stepped down to call the signal box. That's when masked figures struck. He was hit. The second crew member was overpowered. The robbers uncoupled the rear carriages and drove the locomotive half a mile to Bridego Bridge. In just 15 minutes, 15 men formed a human chain, tossing sack after sack into waiting Land Rovers. No guns fired, no alarms triggered. Then they vanished into the countryside. For days, Britain was stunned. The largest cash robbery in its history. The gang hid at a remote farmhouse, celebrating, until fingerprints on a Monopoly board gave investigators their first real break. Arrests followed months later. Some were caught quickly, others fled across continents. One escaped prison in 1965 and was recaptured years later in Brazil. It wasn't just a crime. It became legend. Immortalized by a 1903 silent film about a train robbery where bandits stopped a locomotive and disappeared into myth. Only this time, it was real.